Hello, beautiful people. Hello, Facebook. How are you all today? It's good to see you live. And if you happen to catch me, please say hi, say who you are. I would love to meet you if I don't know you. And of course, I would love to see those who I know already. And if you happen to see this video on a replay, please hashtag replay and let me know you watched it. Also, let me know who you are. I always love reading your comments and meet you as well if I don't know you. Okay, and if that's the first time that you see me live or you find this video on a replay, my name is Natalia. I am an inner mastery and consciousness mentor. And today I'll talk about a very important subject, one of the most important subjects. All of them are important, but today I'll talk about specifically about fulfillment and freedom. And I'll explain to you why freedom from your ego or from your personal self is total fulfillment. Now, many people, and I think maybe all people, the vast majority of population, have freedom as their main value. And just let me know, is freedom your main value as well or not? Is it? If it is, let me know in the comments. I would love to hear that from you. And tell me, what do you understand as freedom? Because in our culture or in our society, freedom is mainly understood as having lots of money, being somewhere in a tropical beach and doing whatever the hell you want, whenever you want, right? Something along those lines, yeah. But this version of freedom is the freedom as seen by ego, because it is ego that feels unfulfilled, that feels bound, that feels insecure, that is doubts itself, that feels in many ways insufficient. And of course, that it produces all of that simply because your ego does not have any reality on its own. Your ego does not exist. It may not yet be in your experience, but please, if you hear these words and you are not trying to argue with them or dispute them, hear them again and hear them deeply in your being. Your ego does not exist, which is why it always looks for something outside to fulfill itself. Yeah, because the foundation, so imagine it's like you build the house on a foundation uh, made of glass. Yeah, it breaks. Well, even maybe this example is insufficient because glass even have some reality, have some validity, but your ego does not. It's totally it is unreal. It is only, it appears real because of the ways that you were brought up, conditioned, raised, and because our society supports your belief of a separate personal identity. That's the only reason why you believe in your personal identity, and why and that you take that it's normal because everyone else or the majority of people have their personal identity. But it is simply a belief created through the years and years and years of conditioning and has no reality in it whatsoever. Now, of course, when something does not have any reality, imagine it's like a phantom. It's a phantom, and then because it does not have any reality, it cannot feel secure, it cannot feel fulfilled, it cannot feel complete. Yeah? Do you recognize it for yourself? It's very important that when you listen to that, you just check it in your own experience, in your own self-knowledge, because whatever I'm sharing with you is not something that you don't know, but it's just that you may not know that you know, so you need to be reminded of that, and that's fine. That's why people like me do this type of talks and teach, so you can grow in self-knowledge, and that you can grow in understanding, and that you can see clearly yourself and life. So when something does not exist, a phantom, it wants to perpetuate the idea of its existence by relying on the objects outside of itself. So notice that your ego always goes outwardly to get things. This is very important that you understand that ego always wants to get things. Yeah? Because see, because it cannot give anything. Yeah, it's an empty cup. It's an empty cup that does not exist. Because it's empty, it cannot give. So as long as you are in your personal self, or you sustain the belief in your personal self and in your ego, you will be as beggar trying to get things from the outside world to fulfill yourself. And the range of things that you are trying to get can vary depending on your ego and depending on its strengths. So you can get, well, first and most important that everyone is running after, it's love, to get love, then to get money, to get fame, to get recognition, to get any kind of power or position, to get anything that gives you some value, approval, yeah, fame, whatever it is that excites your ego, it will run after that. Yeah. So your ego is looking for sensory experiences because it's outwardly, it's the shallow outer layer of yourself, which is unreal, as I said, but because you sustain it, it is real for you, so we can talk about that. So it's going outward in the sensory world, yeah, looking after the objects of senses. And when it looks outside for the object of senses, it wants to get some kind of satisfaction. Yeah. So let's take an example. you you see um, you see something that you want. Yeah, you see a beautiful house or a beautiful car, and you say, I want to get it. So the senses go after that, and then I want to get it. Then you are going, you are making money, you get that, and then what happens? You get an excitement or satisfaction that lasts how long? How long does it last? Maybe a week, maybe a month, but then you are getting used to the new reality. It's your house, and then it's kind of normal. It's not really exciting anymore. So, see, in your head, you are mistaken satisfaction for fulfillment. So, sensory objects, getting the house, getting a car, let's take another example, getting a new partner. It's very satisfying, it's very exciting for the first several months, maybe a year, and then you're getting bored with each other. Yeah, or especially if there is no deeper connection, if it's only a sexual connection, sex can get very exciting for or satisfying for a month, maybe a couple of months if it's very good, but then it wears off, excitement wears off, and there is nothing to bring you fulfillment. So satisfaction is not fulfillment. You are getting satisfied, but then you're hungry again. You're looking for a new experience. So you're looking for a new partner. And then you're looking for something new again and again and again. And then you come to a point where you may reach everything that one could think of reaching or achieving. Yeah, you may get the most beautiful house or several of them, the most beautiful woman, man, the most beautiful car, whatever you wanted. But then what? But then when you are on the top and there is nowhere to go, because if you are still in the bottom, well, let's take a simple example that you can relate to. The bottom means that you are a regular person. You're still believing that you will be fulfilled once you will be on the top. You will have everything that you wanted and tick all your boxes, and then you will be fulfilled. So you're still believing in that. But once you are there, and if you are there, please let me know if I'm right or not. I would love to hear from you. And once you're there, then you realize that actually, well, I'm still not fulfilled. There's still something missing. I have everything I ever wanted, maybe even more than I ever wanted, but I'm still not fulfilled. And then you see many famous people, many people who achieved a lot in their outer world, in their outer activities. They suffer from depression, from unhappiness. So, deeper fulfillment is something else. Yeah. And deeper fulfillment comes only when you are free from your ego. Now, because it is only your ego that wants something from the outside world. Deeper in a fulfillment, and that starts with first as realization of your true essence, the essence that you are, and then with gradual embodiment of the essence that you are. And that brings you to absolute and total fulfillment. Because in ego's world, freedom is for the ego. It perceives freedom as freedom for the ego. Whereas in reality, the only freedom there is freedom from the ego. So when you start the process of being free from the ego, it's actually not an easy process, and it's not for everyone. And I stress it over and over again that you need to be ready and willing to be absolutely honest with yourself. And absolute honesty or radical honesty means that you are ready to see through all the illusions of your ego and uncover or expose them and see the deeper reality, the truth that you are. Because ego is a very cunning thing. It's like a phantom, it does not exist, but as long as it exists in your perception, it's a very it's a very cunning thing, because what it will do, it will disguise its existence as long as it can. So it will point fingers on anything and anyone, so you do not expose it. Its deepest fear is to be exposed, because full exposure for your ego is death, and that's what your ego is frightened for. Yeah. So it can suggest you anything to divert your attention. It can convince you, for example, it's not the time to do the inner work. It's not the time to discover your essence, because you've got more important things to do. You've got money to make, you've got children to look after, you've got business to look after. It's not the time to do that deeper inner work. You will do it later, at some point of time later, not now. Or it may tell you, you know everything. You're so spiritual, and I had these cases. I've seen these people. I know it all. I know it all. I don't need any help. Or it may play a different game. It may tell you, well, you're really not good enough. You really need to improve. There is so much to heal. There is so much to fix. And you need to become the next best version of yourself. And I think people who are tied up in never-ending coaching and in never-ending healing, these are these type of ego or mind mindset. Mindset is this type of thinking that traps people into the never ending improvement and fixing loop. And of course, you are never gonna be free from that, because the loop just goes around and round and round and round and round. Or for someone who has been working on the on spiritual paths, it may come even in a different form. Once they had some initial realization, ego could jump on those realization and say, well, I am divine now. I am divine. I have a divine mission. I am I have a soul mission. All these type of things it can convince you of. Oh, that you are special. The moment you start, the moment the energy of the source starts penetrating your body, things can happen. You may see that people can get healed around you, and then suddenly your ego jumps on it immediately and now announces that you are a great healer, and now it's time for you to heal everyone or to teach others how to heal, or it's time for you to lead some spiritual movement. You have to be very, 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 very subtle to see that, because your ego can hide behind the spiritual sign for a very long time. It can keep you on the spiritual path. Same thing, same spiritual path of improvement, of divine or divine feminine. If you consider yourself to be divine feminine or divine masculine line, that's a clear sign that you just made your ego divine. So it can play in a different way. Now, your ego is the best salesman, and it will sell you whatever you are ready to buy to keep yourself bounded. So look look carefully and deeply. What are you trading for freedom? Are you open for negotiations with your ego? Because as long as you are open for business with your ego, you will not get total fulfillment, and you will not be fully free. And it's very, very, very important for you, if freedom is your highest priority in life, and if total fulfillment is something that you want in life, you need to stop all negotiations with your ego. You need to close the business of your ego. And so what happens then? And then you go through the process of exposing your ego. And that means going through a lot of illusions, exposing a lot of illusions, exposing a lot of pain, exposing all the layers that have been built up during your egoic existence. So you have to be willing and ready to go through all of that, and to go through all of that all the way, if that's what you want, or to the degree that allows you the deeper freedom. Because deeper freedom and fulfillment only happens when you are free from ego. It cannot happen in any other way. Because once you are free from your ego, you will not need anything from the outside world. You will not rely to get anything in the external world. So you will not need to get love, you will not need to get fame, you will not need to get recognition, you will not need to get power, you will not need to get anything at all, because you will be absolutely and totally fulfilled by the mere fact that you are. That is a powerful state, isn't it? And it's possible. It's possible for you because you are that already. It exists in you. It's just that the layers need to be penetrated deep enough so you could embody this state within yourself. And then you're no longer a beggar that asks for things outwardly. You are an emperor that can give. Yeah? You can only give when you are not looking to get anything from the outside world, when you are fully fulfilled. And when you are fully fulfilled, when your cup is full, yeah, when you embody the essence that you are fully fulfilled. You are filled with the essence that you are. And that makes you an emperor or empress. And then when you are filled, you have something of value to give. You see, there's very little that you can give while you are still looking to get something. It's the same like a beggar trying to give things out. You cannot give what you don't have. Very simple, right? So you have to be filled or overflowing even to give. And that's what freedom from ego makes it possible for you. So you are you, the essence that you are, then you can give. And when you give, that's when you can be truly divine. Not the divine version of the ego, not that. Truly divine, because only divine can give, because it has in the first place, right? You give what you are. So when you can give, that's when you are divine. And then whatever you do in the practical daily reality, it's all done by the divine. So it's all good, it's all right and true. And that's when you do something of value, and that's when you serve people, because it's done by the divine, right? And whatever you receive is received from the divine and by the divine that you are. And then you can enjoy, of course, nothing wrong. You can enjoy everything you want. You can have as much money as you want. You can do whatever the hell you want. You're free. No one needs to tell you what to do. No one needs to tell a free person what to do. It's only the one who wants to be bound that needs some guidance. Free person does not need any guidance anymore. A free person is free. So that's the freedom that comes with the freedom from ego. This is the true freedom that you long for deep in your heart. You may be mistaking freedom as freedom in the outside world if you are still running to get things from the outside world. So if you are in this position, and if you recognize the fact that you are mistaken the outside freedom, or freedom that comes with having a lot of money, you are mistaken that from the true freedom that you deeply long for in your essence. You realize that, that's a very important step. So send me a message. I would love to meet you. And if you are in any stage, and the earlier you realize that the deeper freedom that you long for only comes from within you, if you realize that, and if you realize that that's the freedom that comes with freedom from your ego, so if you want that type of freedom, if you want the ultimate freedom, being free within and without, both to unite both parts of yourself. Bring that freedom in your daily life, because what matters is what you do in the world. If you're free inside but you're still bound outside, that's not intelligent either, right? Unless that's what you want. But I'm sure if you if you're someone who is free inside, you just would not have it that way. You would go for the ultimate freedom in within and without as well. So, if you are someone who is looking for the ultimate freedom, if you are someone who is looking for fulfillment, if you are someone who wants to discover the truth, who has deep longing for truth, who wants to discover yourself, who wants to discover the essence that you are, and not only discover but to embody the essence that you are and live it and bring it in your daily life as your daily living reality. Send me a message for an opportunity to work with me one to one. I would love to meet you. And you can also find in the link underneath this videos any group meditations or other events that are happening at this moment. So please do feel free to join them if that's what you want to do. And if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them underneath this video or contact me directly. I would love to hear from you. If you have any feedback or anything that 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 you took away from this video, or that any revelations that you had, let me know. I would love to hear those as well. And if you find this video on my YouTube channel, please subscribe for more content like this. And if you are not yet on my YouTube channel, or you are not aware of my YouTube channel, please check it out and subscribe as well. Thank you so much for being with me. I wish you a wonderful day, and I look forward to seeing you soon.